1-ba and a 2-ba and a 3-ba.
Perfect.
Nice.
That I love. Okay, let's pop our bottles in the bucket.
I also have a long style bottle opener. But yours has the hole in the back. Mine doesn't.
Yeah.
I think we got you that, didn't we?
You did. I've mentioned this bottle opener before. It's great. It's a Doberman on it, and it says, "I have a liquor problem."
We got it. This might be a new record. We got it in Lewis, Delaware.
I know! Oh, God. Okay. Before we get too rambly here, I want to welcome everybody to the most special of Beard Owl podcast episodes ever. We're kicking off 2021 in style with basically a massive community tribute to our hero, Alfred Matthew Yankovic, born October 23rd, 1959 in Linwood, California.
And no, this is not the greatest song in the world. This is just a tribute.
This is just a tribute. Yeah.
I couldn't remember the greatest song in the world.
No.
This is just a tribute. Oh. To the greatest song in the world. All right.
Oh my God. But because this is the Beard Owl podcast, we're kicking things off with some beers. And we've got special beers today, don't we, John?
Yes, we do. We have special beers from our very nice, very homebrew adept uncle, Dan, which is our dad's twin. I have the Carey's Pacific Coast IPA, and you have
the Carey's Russian Imperial Stout.
So what do you want to say about your Russian Imperial Stout?
Well, I want to say that he sent me 2 of each beer, so this is the second of his Russian Imperial Stouts that I've had. And I'll tell you basically what I told him. Initially, there's a bitterness to it, right? But as it warms up in the glass and as your tongue flavor palette adapts to the beer, there's a sweetness that comes through. And it's quite good. I'm not really big into stouts. We've talked about this a lot, but I like this beer.
Yeah, he sent me 2 of that one and 2 of this one as well. I agree with you. I am not really a fan of stouts in general. Of the 2 beers, I prefer the IPA that I have here. That's not to say that the stout is bad. Just stylistically, I'm more of an IPA drinker than a stout drinker.
Let's explain to the people what this episode is all about, because you're going to hear a bunch of other people today that aren't us.
That is correct.
What I did was I just put something out there on Twitter to, whoever might want to listen, and said, hey, I'm thinking I want to put together like a compilation of people just talking about how much Weird Al means to them. If I did this, would you be interested? And the response that I got completely blew me away. I thought I might get like 3 or 4 people like, yeah, sure, cool. Like, I'll do that. And then this would just be a small little thing. Dude, I had so many people get so excited about doing this. It was unreal. And as the responses started coming in and I'm getting people's audio, I'm listening to them and I was touched. I was moved. I was overwhelmed.
They were. I listened to a bunch of them. Yeah, they're very good responses, and I really do appreciate everybody that came back with a response and gave us a little entry. They're all very, very good. And very thoughtful.
Yeah, very thoughtful. And so we figured we'd kick this off talking about, this whole damn podcast is about what Weird Al means to us, but
pretty much.
Like, everybody else is so touching as we go through this thing, so I'm just like, let's be touching. before everybody else gets to be touching. I don't know, man. I talked, in the episode that came out, my little mini episode that came out for Cecilia's birthday, about like the things that I feel like Weird Al can teach us about what type of person to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what means the most to me about Weird Al, is that he, like, whether I realize it or not, like, ever since I was a kid, Weird Al kind of gave me permission to be as ridiculous as I am.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, it's fine. It's okay. I fully admit, I think I said this when we did Cecilia's Zoom birthday party. Mm-hmm. I think I said, I'm basically a cartoon.
I would absolutely agree with that. Yeah, you're way more of a cartoon than I am, but I still do consider myself a cartoon as well. But not, like, maybe, okay, we need to put it in relation to, like, Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Okay.
Tunes, right? If you were Roger Rabbit, maybe I'm like the taxi.
Okay. I'll take it.
Yeah.
It's really funny. I'm the taxi.
Like, I'm not that adult baby. Neither one of us is Jessica Rabbit.
No.
Like, yeah, I think I'm the taxi. And you're Roger Rabbit.
I'm Roger Rabbit? Okay.
Yeah. But really, neither one of us is Doc Brown guy. Christopher Lloyd. Neither one of us is Christopher Lloyd's character.
No.
And neither one of us is truly Bob Hoskins.
No.
But Bob Hoskins wasn't a tune.
He wasn't a cartoon.
Rip.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say, is Weird Al basically taught me to be who I am, and it's okay to be ridiculous, and you can still do great things in the world without being super serious.
Absolutely. I think I feel the same way. Like, Weird Al is a great example of, like, what it means to be yourself, own being yourself, no matter how weird other people might think it is. And just be yourself. Who cares, really, what other people think? Just, like, if you're gonna do it, do it. If you're, like, if that's who you are, then okay.
Right.
There's no, why care? So, like, a lot of people take themselves way too seriously.
Yeah.
And it's just like, why? I want to both credit and blame Weird Al for my inability to take most things seriously.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't mean I don't care about things.
Right.
I care about a lot of things, but if something bad happens and it's out of my control, why not laugh about it? Why not joke about it?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
exactly. Like,
just,
like, what are you going to do?
Be who you are.
Right. Be who you are. And yeah, like, you don't have to take everything seriously. Just like you said, if it's out of your control and you can't do anything about it, then you can't do anything about it. So why worry about it?
Right. And again, if something bad happens, it's almost like, what's the point in getting mad if getting mad isn't going to fix it?
Right.
Like,
yeah.
I really don't get angry often. I get frustrated. I get disappointed. I get a lot of things, but angry is not really something that I really feel often.
And that's a good thing.
And I really think that, like, have you ever seen or heard of Weird Al getting angry?
No.
No, he doesn't get angry. He jokes.
Right. Like,
so, yeah.
It's perfect.
Weird Al has shaped both of us.
Completely 100% true. He has
Right.
shaped both of us. So, before we ramble on too long here at the beginning, because we got a lot of people coming up, I think we should say, without further ado, let's listen to some of our friends talk about some of our loyal commenters.
So yeah, there's some commenters.
Oh,
Yeah.
Before I dive into this, I need to say right at the outset that Summer Woods, she's a pianist, she's a musician, and Weird Al actually retweeted a video of her doing a piano medley of Weird Al songs, and Weird Al retweeted that, and Summer was actually kind enough to, you'll hear her talk about Weird Al a little later in this episode, but some of the bumpers between people talking are Summer playing some Weird Al tunes on the piano. So that's pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah, that should be fun. So I guess let's throw it to the people.
Thanks, everybody. See you at the back.
Woo!
My name is Ryan Luis Rodriguez, and I was a weird kid. Here's proof. I can remember the very moment I first heard Weird Al on the radio. In November of 1993, I was 7. It was Bedrock Anthem from the Alapalooza album, and in that listen, an obsession was born. That particular song is a parody of a Red Hot Chili Peppers song that I had never heard, with lyrics that referenced the Flintstones, a series I had never really watched, and yet I found the song funny. After that listen, I begged my parents to buy me the album, which they begrudgingly did, and my mom insisted that we listen to it together to make sure that there was nothing objectionable on it. My parents were pretty strict content-wise, and to my surprise and utter relief, she was laughing as much as I was, if not more. Then it became my mission to collect everything else in Al's vast oeuvre on cassette tape. I was dedicated to soaking up all the popular culture that I could, cataloging it, categorizing it, and if I hit upon something that I really liked, I needed to know conclusively that there were no gaps in my knowledge. I discovered much later that I had undiagnosed Asperger's, which actually explains a lot. Through Weird Al, I could digest popular culture that I wasn't allowed or able to witness in person. Like I wasn't allowed to see Forrest Gump, but I could talk about it like I was intimately familiar with it because I listened to the song Gump incessantly. I wasn't cool enough to be into Devo, but I knew every single lyric of Dare to Be Stupid, so I was being pre-programmed for it, and I would get into it properly in college. Nirvana was considered irreverent in my household, verboten, but I understood grunge by osmosis through Smells Like Nirvana. He helped shape my sense of humor. I felt like understanding his appeal was like membership in some secret club. The Freemasons for hyper-observant, non-threatening nerds. The first concert I ever attended was Weird Al in 1996 at the Santa Clara County Fairgrounds. People talk about how James Brown was the most impressive live performer to ever grace the stage, but I will never forget the audience reaction when Al left the stage after performing Amish Paradise and reappeared less than 3 minutes later, completely decked out in the fat suit from, well, Fat. It was like a legitimate magic trick had been performed. Not sleight of hand, but like David Copperfield making the Statue of Liberty disappear, except it was a fat suit. As I get older and my tastes change, he's still a consistent source of comfort. If I'm feeling like crap, which is often, UHF is a go-to movie to alleviate my woes.
We're gonna have so much fun. We'll forget about how miserable we are and how much life sucks.
When I write my podcast, The Coolness Chronicles, a subjective history tour through pop culture and Mystery Science Theater 3000, I try to maintain the same subversive spirit that he infuses his work with. His tunes can be silly parodies, although not always, but they still have to function as melodic songs. In that same way, I try to give you a genuine history lesson about something as near and dear to my heart as Weird Al, but also take the piss out of it at the same time. I guess what I'm trying to say is that we're exactly the same, as artists, as comedians, as human beings. That's not remotely true. I love Weird Al, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to explain why.
Hello, Beard Owl Podcast. This is Charlie.
This is Steve.
From We're All Yankovics, the podcast. And you wanted some fun stories about Weird Al, so we thought we'd join you guys.
Yeah.
Steve?
Sure. I mean, there's so much Weird Al has, brought to my life. He's just really been super important my entire life. I remember the first time I heard him, I was probably 8 or 9 years old, and just listening to him through a little walkie-talkie from a neighbor across the street playing. It was either I Lost on Jeopardy or Another One Rides the Bus. I'm not exactly positive, but they're all around the same time. He kept playing them for me, and I just saw this guy he knows me. This guy he's it. He's my guy. So I just had to, jump on board the Weird Al train from then on. He just brought, acceptance of being weird into the world, and I love him for it.
We love him so much. We did a podcast about him.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Weird concept, right? I don't know. Like, to me, the biggest thing, my biggest memory of Weird Al is a new one. It's from when we went to Georgia to see 2 of his concerts, the Vanity Tour, and then we got to see like 2 almost completely different concerts. A lot of the like B-sides and the deep dives from his albums, and it was such a fun road trip to hang out with Steve, but also to like see. Sometimes Al's performances get a little like the same, purposefully. And the Vanity Tour was just a stripped down sort of fun way to see it and see stuff that you normally wouldn't see, and have it be a little bit more intimate. And I think that was awesome. And it definitely made my love for Al grew like 3 sizes that day.
That was
great. You know
great.
what I mean?
That was amazing.
It was awesome. It was awesome. So
yeah.
Cool.
Right on.
Well, we enjoy your podcast, and it sounds like you're doing great, and we wish you good luck on continued podcasts. Happy 2021! Woohoo!
Go. We're live.
Hey everybody, this is Emmy and Steve from the Misfits and Mysteries podcast. We're a weekly podcast where we talk about everything from psychology and history to cryptids and aliens and everything in between. And this is what Weird Al means to us.
So Weird Al, he makes some great comedy music. I remember loving it when I was a kid. I always thought White and Nerdy was really funny. Also remember Amish Paradise is pretty funny too. I mean, I don't really know how to say what he means to me, but I used to enjoy him when I was young. I think he's a very talented guy, and he's pretty funny.
I totally agree. And I also, I'm looking at a big picture of him right now, and he has incredible hair. Just really voluptuous. He looks like he could be a cover girl. So you guys need to Google Weird Al hair right now.
All right. Well, bye.
Bye.
Hey Lauren and John, my name's Zeb, and I've been enjoying your podcasts, and enjoying bugging you with dumb comments online. Well, anyway, I was scrolling pretty fast, but I saw the request to share appreciation for how much your show's theme means to us personally, so I thought I'd share my thoughts. Well, let's see, where do I begin? I guess I've really appreciated beer as long as I can remember. I mean, way before I was cognitive at all, my dad would often be under his influence and sharing fun songs and vibes with us kids. I remember discovering beer for myself when I was in elementary school. I remember getting my early effervescent fixes from taping the Dr. Demento show each week, like in 2nd or 3rd grade, I think. In middle school and high school, my friends and I would all really take in as much beer as possible. I mean, I nearly formed a Volcano Worshippers Club in high school just so I could be like beer. So my first real personal experience with beer was on August 27th, 1996 at the Catalyst Club in Santa Cruz. I remember beer being incredibly refreshing, and the band was stellar. That had a huge impact on my formative mind. I remember making a list of heroes, and beer was at the very top. After that experience, I was obsessed, an alcoholic, really. I mean, since then, my relationship and love for beer has only strengthened. I mean, the music is top-notch, genius lyrics. Everything is so carefully crafted. And beer is super fun and nice. No one who really knows beer ever says anything negative about them. When I'm with beer, personally, he makes me feel like I'm the only person in the world, and I'm an absolute nobody. It's a little scary, but really just so incredibly special. And I know I'm not the only one who feels this way. I've heard lots of other people have the same experience. But more important than anything is that beer makes life bearable and really fun. It's always there whenever I need comforting. Jovial spirits, always nearly in reach. So many really depend on beer to escape the harsh and cruel world in which we live. I could praise beer all day. I'm not even halfway down the list. I mean, this thing could go on for...
Dada, you're doing it wrong.
What?
Weird Al, not beer.
Oh, it's supposed to be about the other part? Oh, heck. Weird Al is absolutely and undisputably the pinnacle of all that has or will ever happen throughout all of existence in this universe or any other. Ooh, sorry about that. What is beer anyway? But seriously, thanks for the fun, often buzzed discussions about Weird Al in all his glory. Like what you do. Look forward to more. Have a good one.
Hi, this is Seth from the Treble Treble podcast. It's a music podcast, as well as Thanks for Coming, a RuPaul's Drag Race podcast. I just wanted to thank you first for letting me come on your show to share this wonderful message for Weird Al Yankovic. From a young age, I really enjoyed Weird Al's creativity and his unique style of music. I remember in middle school just listening to Bad Hair Day so many times, like in a row. It was just something really fun that me and my brother and friends were into. And then, you know, growing up along the way, just finding Weird Al fans along the way, like the host of this lovely podcast. So I just wanted to send this message to you, Weird Al. Thank you so much for being weird and making it cool to be weird. And continue to be you. Continue to put out great music. And I cannot wait to come see you live, you know, when we can actually go to concerts again. You just are such an inspirational person to so many people. You know, the weirdos and the strange people out there that don't always feel like they fit in, and I'm sure that's how you feel too. So just sending all my love to you, Weird Al.
Hi, this is Summer Woods. I am a singer-songwriter and multi-instrumentalist, and you might already know me if you saw that piano medley that Al retweeted. That was me. And also, I'm the person playing the piano on this episode of the podcast as well. I've been I've been a close personal friend of Al since I was 9. No, but I was about 9 when Straight Outta Linwood came out, and I remember hearing it for the first time on a camping trip, and I remember getting really freaked out about Weasel Stomping Day and I'll Sue Ya, because I didn't like the idea of stomping weasels or putting a cat in a microwave. Even the song Pancreas kind of freaked me out because I thought internal organs were kind of freaky. So my first impressions of him were not wonderful, but over time I started becoming a bigger and bigger fan. And I remember in elementary school, one of my friends and I would just rewind Fat over and over to listen to the one part where he says, I take up 7 rows. We thought that was the funniest thing of all time, and we just kept rewinding that. It's a really good memory. But yeah, so I've been a fan of him since I was a kid. In fact, here's an audio snippet that I found on a tape recorder of me singing Taco Grande when I was 9.
See, I just got to have a tostada con asada. So I don't want the whole enchilada. I only eat do the salad tortilla.
I don't know why I started getting farther away from the mic, but that was me when I was 9. So I've been a fan for a long time, but this year in particular, I really got into him. So obviously, this year has been hard for everyone, but like for me specifically, all kinds of random, bad, weird stuff started happening to me this year. I went through a breakup, friction between me and friends and family, and just kind of stuff that's never happened to me before. I'm in this kind of transitional period in my life. And so basically the only highlight of this year so far has been Al. Like, listening to his music puts me in such an amazingly great mood. My problems just kind of melt away for a second. I'm laughing, I'm singing, I'm screaming, you know, and even just the stuff he does that's not music, like watching all of his fake interviews and just like laughing so hard, and it's incredible. So, just the positivity that he like radiates, like he has this cheerful, innocent energy that just like, I don't know, just makes me really happy. So, yeah, like when I'm in the car and I'm just feeling down, I gotta put on like my favorite songs, like the songs of his that make me really happy. I don't know why, but I really resonate with Hardware Store, Genius in France, Ringtone, Germs, Why Does This Always Happen to Me, Slime Creatures from Outer Space, like all those like beautiful, colorful originals that he has just like put me in such a good mood and in a really like serious way, like not just like, oh, this is funny, but like something about the music like really touches me and like puts this positive energy in me that where my troubles are just kind of like in the background for a second, and it's really great. I'm almost tearing up right now just thinking about how happy I get. It's great. Whew, like when I'm in the car and I put on Ringtone and I'm just singing along and the chords are so happy and the guitar solo is so awesome and I'm just, I love that song. No one talks about Ringtone. I don't know why, but Ringtone is like top 5 for me. But anyway, yeah, so if you're listening, Al, I just want to thank you for the positive energy that you've been in this horrible, horrible year. And yeah, you're basically my role model because like, I mean, I just really admire how Al, like, became so successful just by being a cool and good person, like, unlike Behind the Music, where he's like, you know, like, I never was an alcoholic, I never slept with my bandmates, I never married my 13-year-old cousin, so what do you want from me? You know, like, all that stuff just makes him a great role model and just shows you that you don't have to be a jerk to be successful. And I think he also mentioned he wanted to be a cartoonist before he was a musician, which was true of me too. And I'm also a vegetarian, I'm also an only child, so there's a lot of random things about him that I relate to. So speaking of my favorite musical artist, me, I wanted to mention that I have a music video that I just put out called What Do I Do?, which contains 2 Weird Al references in the video. So go watch the video right now or else, and try to find the references and tell me what you think. I think it's really cool. But yeah, so Al, we love you, I love you, and thanks for being such a groovy guy.
A long, long time ago, I became an alkalite and life was never quite the same. Like a surgeon, eat it too, important to me if not to you. Who is this man? What is this silly name? Ridiculed at school, but I loved his lyrics. His humour is fab, you silly pillocks. Albuquerque, my Bologna. Never thought that I'd love polka. To learn accordion's beyond me, even though I am still really keen. Maybe I'll get a tattoo on my knee of him. This man called Al. Oh my, this here Yankovic guy, always funny, making me laugh till I'm starting to cry. He'll never stop and he will never die. That's right, Weird Al, he will never die. Weird Al makes my spirits fly. Now that I've destroyed your ears with my icky voice, Weird Al has been part of my life, his music, since I was 13, I think. 12, 13 years old. And I still listen to it now, over 30 years later. And it still makes me feel better, it makes me laugh, makes me happy. I know a good chunk of it word for word, as I guess a lot of you do. I love it. One last thing I'll just say about it. I have one thing on my bucket list. One thing. There's many things I want to do, but there's one thing that's on my bucket list, is to see Weird Al live. If I've got that, everything else is bonus. There you go. That's my thoughts about it. Take care, everybody. Oh, by the way, my name's CK. I've got a habit of forgetting to do that bit. I host 2 podcasts, one called Mirths and Monsters, which is a family-friendly one about cryptids. My dog's in it, my cats are in it. And it's a lot of fun. Light-hearted fun, silly, punny. And another one called Infernal Souls and Eternal Arseholes, which is less so for families. And it's series 1 was set in Alcatraz. It's hosted by a ghost, which is me. And the second series has just started, and it's set in the Winchester house. So if you fancy checking them out, please do. That'd be grand. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Robert Yanis Jr. here from the Crooked Table podcast. On my show, we discuss a different movie with a different guest every single episode. And while we haven't covered UHF just yet, what does Weird Al mean to me? Well, when I think about Weird Al, I think about the 3 times I've seen him in concert. I think about listening to Running with Scissors as the backdrop to my brother and I playing video games. I think about all the times my toddler has requested Trapped in the Drive-Thru or Albuquerque randomly. And looking back, I can really see how much of my sense of humor, my sort of irreverent view on pop culture, my tendency to want to come up with spontaneous parodies on my own, how all of that has been informed by Weird Al's career, his sense of humor, his playfulness. And in many cases, artists consider it an honor when Weird Al covers one of their songs. And for me, that's always been sort of a demarcation that this particular artist or this particular song or this particular contribution to pop culture has been earmarked as important, as noteworthy, because Weird Al has commented on it. And so much of our culture, whether it's music we listen to, the movies we watch, or technology, or the food that we eat, so much of it has been covered by Weird Al. I mean, listen to, like, he did a whole polka medley on Hamilton, which I was into before I actually was into Hamilton. So it's become one of those things where Weird Al is almost sort of a curator of pop culture and presents it in a very unique lens. There's no one like Weird Al. There's been a lot of musical comedy artists that have sort of emerged in his wake and attempted to do what he's done, but there's been only one that's really had the same kind of impact, had the same kind of iconic catalog of songs, and had the same sort of long-term success where fans like myself will go see him multiple times because it's a different experience every time. For a long time, I called myself a student of pop culture, and it's very clear to anyone that's paying attention that for decades, Weird Al has been sort of the most famous student of pop culture, commenting on the world around him as it's changed, staying relevant, staying current, keeping all of us not taking things too seriously as a result. And it's made a tremendous impact on me, my sense of humor, the way I see the world. So, Lauren, John, if you guys ever want to come on a podcast talking about UHF, you know where to find me.
Systems accessed. Activate.
Bonus content. We're going to talk about Weird Al.
Again. Yes. Oh, God. Immediately it's ruined.
Yes.
No.
Yes, I like Weird Al.
I hate your drops. That's what I hate.
I know one you do like.
Spaceman. I'm a spaceman. Weird Al is not a spaceman, and I do love me some Weird Al.
Me too. So, we've got a really, so it's funny as I've been, continuing to branch out and reach out to all these other podcasts. I found one called Beard Al, which is all about Al. I mean, there's literally a podcast for everything.
Right. And it's just about Weird Al.
That's
cool.
It. All about Weird Al.
And beer? Is that what I call Beard Al?
That he got drunk when he came up with the concept of the podcast, and that's why it's called Beard Al. I'm not quite sure. I just know it's all about Weird Al Yankovic. We had dedicated. I actually said this to the host. I'm like, we had a whole thing where I got quizzed.
The original trivia time.
The original trivia time. We talked about Weird Al. And I know that you are a gigantic Weird Al fan.
Man.
Because you came up with the concept of talking about Weird Al during the trivia time. So, how'd you get into him? Like, what?
So it was, God, there was like two always had a affinity when I was growing up for like kind of like alternative musicians, like things that were like fit into a genre, but were like odd or weird or funny, or like I wanted to be two things when I was like 12 years old. I wanted to be the human beatbox from the Fat Boys or Weird Al.
That's
so
pretty,
it was just like,
that's two very, very opposite ends of the spectrum.
So like the first album I ever bought with my own money was a Fat Boys record.
Yep.
The second I ever bought with my own money was the album Even Worse by Weird Al Yankovic.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah.
Which is the one that has Fat on it.
Yes. Great.
So, I mean, and from there it was just like just a complete like love fest with Weird Al. Like anything that I could get my hands on that had Weird Al on it, even when like I went back and got Polka Party, and that was like the one that had like so many of my favorite songs, fucking Living with a Hernia, Addicted to Spuds, Here's Johnny, which was about Johnny Carson, but it was to I can't remember the name of the actual song. Oh, Who's Johnny? You know the song, Who's Johnny? Who's Johnny? But instead of Who's Johnny, Here's Johnny, and it was all about Ed McMahon and Johnny Carson.
It's just like the premises are just so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, but the other thing too that's really cool about Weird Al is that because he found such a niche, and he pioneered the niche.
Oh yeah.
Like if you think back, like there's people that did little things here and there, and they did song parodies, and even you can go back to Howard Stern, and say that he did some things from a song parody standpoint, from at least a broadcast standpoint, like from a broadcasting angle. But really, he was the first one to really truly do parody music. And I mean, the guy's been nominated for 17 Grammys. 4 times. He won 4 times, including in 2019. He won one. It was a special or limited edition box set or something like that for Squeezebox, which I think is the one that's got like it's kind of like I think maybe a complete work. Like literally it's every song.
Like a box set kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of like it's kind of like the one that Kissed It, except it doesn't cost $5,000 because Weird Al's not a cocksucker like Gene Simmons. It's like, good. I'll put it in this Kiss coffin. And I wish he was in a Kiss coffin.
He will be soon.
I hope so. One can only hope. But I mean, like, you mentioned some of the songs like Fat, which I think is great. Even Alimony. And
well, it's not even just his just like spoof on songs.
Yes.
Then he'll do a full like compilation song polka version of a bunch of different songs.
Yes.
And which are fucking amazing as well. And then he has his own original songs too. Like one of my favorites on the Polka Party album, there's a song called Christmas at Ground Zero. Dude, it's fucking fantastic. We definitely go back and listen to that for a nice little homage to Weird Al at Christmas time. Christmas at Ground Zero is fucking fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll just say this as we wrap up our love for Mr. Weird Al Yankovic. 2 things I'll say. Number one, like people that do song parodies sometimes get put in a box of not being great musicians. That is not the case here. Weird Al Yankovic is a absolute genius when it comes to musical composition. He has original songs. You just mentioned a bunch of the polka stuff. So it's not like he's doing things that are just covers really essentially, but parody covers. He's building and creating music on his own, and he's done it his entire career. So if anytime you go and see a Weird Al Yankovic album or what have you, he's always interspersing some things that he's putting together in there while still doing all the really great parody stuff that he does. So guy is and he was an actor. He
not only that, movies. Dude, his videos are fucking hilarious. Like when you had MTV going on, like that, dude, his videos would be on there, and I would like try to videotape them because I thought they were like the funniest. I thought it was like the funniest shit ever.
They were funny, like, and he's again a guy that's done a lot of different things. He's done TV, he's done animation. I knew he was on The Simpsons, of course, because everyone that we love has been on The Simpsons at some point.
Yeah, exactly.
He's been in movies, like I said. So Weird Al Yankovic, what an amazing career this guy's had. And, we celebrate him along with the fine folks at Beard Al. So
cheers to you, Weird Al.
Yes. Cheers to you. Beers to you. And, keep doing what you're doing. Gene Simmons, I hope you die. And with that, goodbye.
Hey, this is Russ from the Infectious Groove podcast just outside Detroit, Michigan. When I first heard of Al was when Eat It was released. And being a huge Michael Jackson fan as a kid, I was offended when I first heard Eat It. I just thought Al was poking fun, and I didn't like it. But I would soon find out that Al is never mean-spirited. Just a fun guy who had a different perspective than the rest of us and ended up with the title Weird Al. I bought in 3D as soon as I could, loved everything on it, went back and bought the first LP, and from there out, I was in line the moment I knew there was a new Al record on the way. Polka Party, even worse, Off the Deep End, everything that came out, I was right there as soon as I could get it. Always found some friend or relative or somebody who could listen to it front to back with me and love what Al was doing. Weird Al taught me that not only was it okay to be different, it was okay to celebrate it. As I grew older, my love for Al never faded. I always needed the lighter side of things, no matter how serious of a music fan I considered myself at different points in my life. My love for other artists has come and gone, but not with Al. Once I started to love Al's music, the love not only stayed, but it grew. When things get bad in the world, I always have Al to make me laugh and, more importantly, look at things from a different perspective. From that first day where I heard Eat It, all the way up until I was having mandatory fun, Weird Al has always been there for me. Other artists have come and gone, they've broken up, they've gone through feuds, they've just plain quit, they've passed away, but Al's always been there. Never mean, never nasty, always talented, always a genius, always reminding me that things are going to be okay. In my personal opinion, Weird Al Yankovic is one of the greatest artists to emerge in the past 40 years and probably the most underrated artist to emerge in the last 40 years. So again, this is Russ, and I'm speaking on behalf of my co-hosts Michelle and Kyle from the Infectious Groove podcast. We want to say thank you to Weird Al for sharing your music, your perspective, everything. Thank you so much, Weird Al. Our lives would not be the same without everything that you've given us.
Hey everybody, this is Chris with the Pub Trivia Experience podcast with a special shout out. Thank you to Lauren and to John for allowing me to come on board here just for a second and kind of talk to you about my love of Weird Al Yankovic. I am not on the same level as them or even Mike from our show, but Weird Al's got a couple of things that's really cool. One is about his music and one is kind of about him. And I think the part about him that I really admire is the fact that he embraces individuality. He shows anyone that being yourself is okay. And that's a kick-ass thing because that's something especially kids don't get enough of in the world today. Weird Al is unabashedly original, and he's been that way from what I've read for like his entire life, and that's amazing. The other thing about Weird Al is the music, and the music, whether it's a polka medley, whether it's a parody song or one of his original songs, I can guarantee that no matter what type of music you listen to, you will find a Weird Al song that you actually like. My personal favorites, if you're looking at like the originals, his original songs, Jackson Park Express and My Own Eyes from his last album, those two songs I think are actually really solid and fun, entertaining songs, and they're so zany and off the wall that like those kind of lyrics can only be made by Weird Al. I don't know of anyone else that could put that type of a spin on those songs. But even if you're looking at the parody songs, they're hilarious. Weird Al Yankovic is an American treasure, Weird Al is someone that has permeated pop culture far deeper than anyone really kind of thought he ever would, to the point where Weird Al is everywhere. There is not somebody who is a creative person that would not look at him and say that is a unique way of going about doing what he does. He is creative first. He is creative on top of everything else. And the guy has made a career out of being creative and being his own individual person. And that is to be applauded. In a world right now where we're also divided, I think everyone can rally around Weird Al. You can rally around something that Weird Al has done and you will enjoy it. So Weird Al, from the folks here at the Pub Trivia Experience, we thank you for being you. We thank you for the music that you've brought into this world and the just unbridled joy that music brings. You, sir, are a gift from God.
What can you say about the man that hasn't already been said? He's just amazing. His acting ability is unparalleled. He's an absolute genius. I mean, really. When you look at what he's given us fans, from Warhorse to bringing our favorite Marvel villain to life. What? Yeah, I'm in the middle of recording for the birthday audio card. Yeah. Wait, what? No. They said this was supposed to be for Tom Hiddleston. Oh wait, Weird Al? Well, yes, I'm familiar with who he is. All right, let me do a retake. What have we said so far? Okay, I think I can roll with that. Okay, I've got it. I mean, what can you say about the man that hasn't already been said? He's simply amazing. His acting is unparalleled. He is an absolute genius. That is true. You can get a sense of pop music and culture through the decades by just listening to Weird Al albums. When you look at what he's given us fans, everything from singing about baloney to how to use proper grammar, it's pretty amazing. But he's enabled us to remember to keep it silly and not take ourselves too seriously. He's also made us see just how ridiculous the number 27 really is. Oh, and he gave life to the best Transformers, the Junkions, and continues us to dare to be stupid. I, for one, would not be the extremely popular podcaster I am today if it wasn't for Weird Al. So, happy birthday, Al. You are truly the best friend that I've never met. Much love from Kiki of Mission Spooky Podcast. And, if you ever do listen to this, it'd be pretty cool if you actually listen to my podcast. I'm just saying.
Hey there, this is Mike from Boozy Bracketology, where we create March Madness-style brackets out of just about anything you can imagine, and then argue them amongst ourselves, and we whittle it down from a round of 64 until we found a winner. Recently, we've done such things as the best chain restaurant, the best comic book movie. This month, the month of December, we're doing the best holiday movie, and next month, we are doing the best 90s alternative song, which brings me to the subject I really want to talk about here, and that, of course, is Weird Al Yankovic. I discovered Weird Al in the early 90s, and he was most definitely my gateway drug to both popular and alternative music. I listened to him incessantly in 1992 and 1993. As great as the parodies were, I always found myself gravitating to the originals. Songs like Midnight Star, Talk Soup, Dog Eat Dog, Trigger Happy, You Make Me, Frank's 2000-inch TV was one of my favorites. That's just to name a few. Years later, I realized that it was because in addition to being hilarious, they also exposed me to such a wide variety of interesting music. Like I didn't know anything about the Talking Heads or REM or anything like that at the time. And it also gave me a subconscious appreciation for things like melody and songcraft and all of these important things that can be easy to take for granted when you're just a casual music fan. Weird Al opened up my eyes to so much of the possibilities of music. And honestly, it astounds me that he has, since then, that is almost 30 years ago, and he has maintained a consistent level of quality during that entire time. It's simply unbelievable. I mean, on his last album, First World Problems was probably the best Pixies song of the 21st century, and it wasn't even recorded by the Pixies. Weird Al, you, as been said so many times before, are a national treasure. You've brought so much joy to so many people, and I hope you have a great new year. I hope you've weathered 2020, as crazy a year as it's been here, pretty well, and I cannot wait to see what you do next. Thanks again, Al. Again, this is Mike from Boozy Bracketology, signing off.
Hi, everyone. This is Shannon, your co-host of the True Crime Podcast, One Crime at a Time, and also co-host of the Paranormal Podcast, Out of the Sticks. And I have to say, when Lauren and John brought this idea up to me, I was ecstatic. I could not wait to tell my story about why I love Weird Al. And I actually got emotional about it, thinking about what I was going to say for one reason. And that's just because of my children. I was born in 1977, so I'm telling my age now. So I'm a total 80s kid. So Weird Al was the thing during the 80s. And my kids, they got into Weird Al because of The Saga Begins, which is his story about the Star Wars film. And that started them on that when they were younger. And they just love Weird Al. And to this day, my oldest is 15, my youngest is 10. And the reason it makes me emotional thinking about it is because Weird Al is literally the only artist that I can sit and listen to with my kids and we all enjoy it and relate to it. They don't like the music I listen to. I don't like the music they listen to. But Weird Al, we will sit there and watch YouTube videos of Weird Al. We can do that for hours, and we sit there and bond over it. And that's why I got emotional about it. I wanted to share that with everybody. Thank you, John and Lauren, for doing this. Thanks for listening to my story, guys, and Weird Al. Love you, man.
Hey guys, it's Agent Scott.
And this is Cam, the provocateur.
And we're from the Spy Hards podcast. Now, we are here today to talk about Weird Al.
That's right. A man who is very special to so many of us. I'm just curious, Scott, what's your, defining moment with Weird Al?
Well, apart from the fact that he sung the theme tune to our film's namesake, of course. There is the fact that I learned all of the words to White and Nerdy, and I think I could probably still recite it, but don't ask me to.
Right. I think for me, I remember watching the Fat video he made back in the day in his earlier, one of his earlier albums. But for me, the moment that really crystallizes is Jurassic Park. I obviously was that right age when I saw Jurassic Park. I was about 12 years old. And so I was in love with it. And I remember that video coming out, that animated video he put out for Jurassic Park that just, my mind exploded. And I believe I got that CD actually for Christmas that year. And it was just played to death. It was actually one of my first CDs ever. So it was a big, big deal for me.
And it, of course, inspired your own music career.
Yeah. Not quite as successful as Weird Al's, but I will say I've enjoyed some of his stuff in the years since. I remember he did like a Nine Inch Nails riff. I think it was called Germs. That was really funny too.
I seem to remember like songs like Eat It.
Mm-hmm.
That one got a lot of play. He wasn't as big over the pond here, but I definitely sought him out. I do appreciate a bit of satire in my music.
Oh, yeah. And he had a song called Yoda that was a big deal as well for us Star Wars fans growing up.
And you got to think, bands like The Lonely Island, stuff like that, have a lot to be thankful for when it comes to people like Weird Al, because he was able to take parody music and make it credible. in the charts, in terms of sales and everything.
Right. And he also raised the bar in terms of musicianship, in terms of writing. Like, he took a skill that I think a lot of people kind of toy with, that writing fake lyrics to a classic song, kind of a spoof song. And he made it, that extra level better. He, has won several Grammys at this point in his life, and well deserved, because he really does have a crazed comedic spirit that I think comes across in all of his work, right from the beginning up until the modern day.
Exactly. So if there was a music knock list and we were the ones looking after it, he would be making the top of the list.
100%. He's on the knock list.
And Al, if you're listening and you want to record a theme tune, Spy Hard's podcast needs one done. Give us a call. Thanks, guys.
Hey, everybody. This is Josh from the Four Nerds by Nerds podcast, dropping by to tell you what Weird Al means to me. I've always loved Weird Al. As a little kid, I would always watch the music videos, and me and my brother just thought they were so hilarious. And then on 2 special occasions, it pretty much solidified me as a lifelong Weird Al fan. They're a little sad, but when I was about 9, I'm pretty sure my parents forgot my birthday, because I was just sitting at home and my mom kept telling me, like, oh, when your dad gets home, we'll do stuff. We'll open gifts and everything. And he came home with 2 cassettes, because I'm old, that they were both just single cassettes. They each only had 1 song on them. They might have had a B-side song. I don't even remember what the other cassette was, but the one that I actually cared about was Amish Paradise, which I had already loved that song. And I wasn't like consciously upset about it at the time. Maybe I was, and I just kind of papered over that painful memory. But as an adult, I'm like, man, that's real fucked up. Like, he definitely just stopped at a gas station on his way home. And the other also has to do with my parents. While my parents were getting divorced, my brother got me Running with Scissors for Christmas. And he was like, I just thought you could laugh now, because things have been so rough. And, of course, that album has The Saga Begins. I'm a big Star Wars fan, and I really loved that version of American Pie by Weird Al, because it's just, as me and the Beard Al folks have discussed online, it's the best thing to come out of Star Wars Episode 1. So, yeah, I just love Al. Anytime I see him cameo in anything, anytime I hear him on anything, and even now when he still comes out with videos, I'm like, this is just awesome. You can't not love Weird Al. He's just, he's nice and he's genuine and he just wants to make people laugh. So how can you go wrong with that? Be sure to check out our show if you like this. We are the Four Nerds by Nerds podcast. We're a movie-centric podcast, so we do a lot of movie commentaries. We also do like news and reviews, and we have a YouTube channel as well where we do show breakdowns, and we're going to start doing video reactions and all sorts of stuff. But our podcast is our main focus. It's great. It's funny, and we have lots of guests. So hit us up on Twitter, FMBN Podcast, if you'd like to see the Beard Al folks, Lauren and John, come on our show. We'd really love to have them. We're also on Instagram and Facebook, FMBN, the number 4 and the letter U. So thanks for having us, guys, and Happy New Year.
Wasn't that neat?
Yeah, that was neat. We want to thank everybody for sending all that great stuff over to us in tribute of Weird Al. It was really cool to hear like what Weird Al means to people that aren't us. You know, it kind of goes to show that Weird Al he's like universal in a way, but he's universal, but it's also personal. You know, everybody connects to him like differently.
Right. Everybody has their own specific era of Al that they started with, and that's generally what their favorite is.
Yeah.
And so it's like you had Mike on the show. He really likes Off the Deep End. We really like Bad Hair Day. And it's like really, really shapes how people are. And it really goes to show the longevity of his career and how many lives he has affected just with his different styles and how long he's been at it and how far into the future he can go with it.
Yeah, as long as he lives, right?
You're going to be darn sure that I will be absolutely sharing Al with my daughter. She's actually to the point right now where I have that Funko Pop of Weird Al.
Yeah.
And me being the funny guy that I am, I like to hide him in the nativity set every year.
Yeah.
And she's found it, and she'll point and say, Al.
I love it.
And it's great. So she recognizes Al, and so she'll recognize his music, and she'll recognize his looks and everything. So it's like, yeah, it's gonna continue on. It just goes to show how he really is a strong force in the pop culture world.
But yeah, I love that you sent me the little video of her recognizing the Weird Al Funko Pop. Just Al.
Mm-hmm.
This is beautiful. I love it. I'm so happy. And this whole episode has been so much fun. And I just love how Weird Al has touched everybody, like, in an appropriate way. And it's a beautiful thing. Do you want to...
Right, and especially in such a tough year that everybody has had. You know, Weird Al has really been a positive crutch for a lot of people, including us. Like, we thought to start this only this year, and because of all the quarantining and, like, needing something to do, and it's just another way for us to connect with each other in this pandemic where, you know, you're not allowed to travel, you're not allowed to go do anything really. And so
yeah,
Weird Al has really made something positive out of really a fairly, for many people, negative year.
100%. And that point that you made just right there is why I wanted this episode to come out on the first day of 2021. Because we're basically saying, let's make this year better. And Weird Al can help us do it.
But what if all the computer calendars on what's supposed to be January 1st, 2021, it really turns out to be the 13th month of 2020?
That would be terrible.
Yeah. We really all should have seen this coming, though. From, like, years ago, because 2020 vision, we should have seen it all coming.
We should have seen it coming, but, like, we have glasses, so we got an excuse.
But you could still see 2020 through your glasses.
Okay.
Once you put your glasses on, you have 2020 vision.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Do you want to put a pin in this? Or
That's your job.
That is my job. But one quick...
Hey, any of you commenters that you didn't get to put anything into this episode, can you put in the comments what Weird Al means to you? Thanks.
That'd be great. Yeah, let's keep the love train going. The Weird Al love train. Thanks again to Uncle Dan for the homebrew. This has been enjoyable. My Carrie's Russian Imperial
we have
Stout.
to read the blurbs.
We got to read the blurbs.
Never read the blurbs on the back. Go for it.
All right. It's Carrie's Russian Imperial Stout. So here we go. This full-bodied brew will take you back to the grand days of the Russian Imperial family with an intense roast flavor and huge malt influence. The hop bitterness is offset by a touch of sweetness from big malt character, leaving you longing for the days prior to revolution. Thank you.
Hi, Zamash. Dziękuję. Wow. I have the Carrie's Pacific Coast IPA. I said I was going to read it in a California surfer boy dialect, but I'm not going to do that.
Oh, leaving me hanging.
Using select Pacific Northwest hops, this West Coast style IPA is big on flavor. A hearty bitterness at the start, and the late kettle additions create an ale that's bursting in tropical and citrus tones, while the medium light maltiness pulls it all together in harmony. Please return this bottle to Dan Carey.
Yeah, mine says that too.
It's a little easier for me to do that than for you, but...
Oh yeah, I might. I'll do it somehow. But anyway, I'm going to put a pin in this because if you've made it this far listening, thank you so much. Because this is long.
Yeah, this is a long one because from what I remember you telling me, we have probably about 50 minutes
just shy of 50.
Of people's shout-outs, and then there's probably... Well, we've been discussing here for 45 minutes on our own, which I'm sure has been cut down significantly.
Oh, yeah.
But still, I think we're looking at well over an hour on this episode.
For sure. This is going to rival the dad episode in length. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, I am putting a pin in this. I want to thank everybody for listening to this extremely, very extraordinarily special episode of the Beard Owl Podcast. I'm still Lauren.
And I'm still John.
And we'll come at you next time, people, with the first regular episode of 2021. Any guesses as to what we're talking about? I don't know. I'm not going to tell you.
Yeah, all you commenters, guess what the next song that we're doing is. I'm going to give you a small hint. All right, so if you look back at the previous episode songs that we've recorded, our albums that we've pulled from have gone in 5-year increments. Extrapolating from that data, you should be able to guess which album we are pulling a song from next. All right, that's the only hint you get.
Okay. Perfect. All right, well, we're going to come at you next time, people. Bye-bye.
Bye 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 bye.